you ready?
Yeah.
Kyle from BoostedBoiz has a history of minivans, but not just any minivans, really fast ones. But then Kyle said, I'm gonna set out to build the greatest sleeper ever built. And you know what? I think I believe him now. This is Plaidessey, a crashed Tesla Plaid with the body of a Honda Odyssey minivan. Making over 1,000 horsepower, this thing runs a 9-second quarter mile and is completely silent. So let's go for a drive and talk about Kyle's insane journey. Plaidessey, straight to the point. Kyle, we met, you had the Rowdyssey, which at the time was age 22. You ran like 153.5 mile at the Project Car Challenge.
Now, recently, actually, it did a 9.5 at 153.
Oh my God.
In the quarter mile.
That's amazing. So, now it's K-swapped and everything else.
All-wheel drive now.
All-wheel drive. But then, you came up to Fuel Tech in Georgia. You're like, hey, would you like to grab some dinner? And you said, I have an idea. And I go, what's the idea? You're
while
like,
we were eating Texas
While we're eating Texas Roadhouse.
Rolls.
You go, I have an idea to take a Tesla Plaid off CoPart. And then take a Odyssey chassis, because you have such an affinity to the Odyssey, and put it on a Plaid.
Love my sleepers.
At the time, I was like, okay, if there's anybody who can do it, Kyle can do it. But I think what was funny is I felt like I was almost in on the joke before, because when you did, is it E-Roy the first time? Like when you tore down the Plaid the first time, I was like, that's not the final product. So like, I just knew the whole time.
Yeah, a lot of people knew what was coming, because I told a lot of my close friends.
Yeah.
A lot of people thought that E-Roy was the final product of what we were doing with the Tesla. And they're like, oh, that's cool, whatever. But no one really knew that the real reason behind getting the Tesla was to put a minivan body over it.
Okay, so Tesla Plaid, 1,020 horsepower. They were like, hey, as soon as it's streetable, get down here. And so I got down here.
Normally you don't even need this key card, because once you link it to your phone, I can just hop in it with my cell phone.
Right. Okay, so the first thing I have to point out is the noises, or lack thereof, but also, you're telling me rocks were flinging into the cabin.
They were when it was E-Roy, really bad.
Also the yoke. How do you like the yoke?
I think it's kind of cool. It's like, I don't know, for this exact project, it's actually really nice, because we need the seats really high. And imagine if this was a full-size wheel, it would kind of go into your lap a little more. Right.
And also, the other thing is, too, the windshield feels super far away.
Yeah, it's up there.
You're not reaching and touching that.
You can still reach the visors and stuff, though. You have to be tall to drive this.
I know. I feel like this was literally made for Garrett. You know?
Yeah, he'd fit right at home.
His torso is all the way up here, so.
He'd still be like, this ain't tall enough.
What was really cool about this as well is that you just have these door panels, everything else. You did a lot of cutting to make this happen, right?
A ton of cutting.
A ton of cutting. But when you first came up with the idea of the project, a lot of people probably don't realize how much time you put into research to do the measurements and everything, right?
Yeah, months of research went into it, because I mean, getting the Tesla is probably the most I've ever invested into a vehicle. Besides my truck, which I use for towing our cars to the track. But yeah, I wanted to make sure that this was going to work before I dropped $50,000-$60,000 onto a wrecked Tesla.
I'm about to say on a wrecked one.
And even if I couldn't find a wrecked one, I was willing to buy a used good one, just because that's how bad I wanted to do it. I was prepared to spend $70,000-$80,000 if I had to. It's like, I need to make sure this will work. And it wasn't even about the money for me. It's just like the idea.
It's just a neat idea.
I didn't even care if I got the revenue back from the videos. Obviously, I did as much as I could to do that.
On a much more minor scale, that's how I felt about my Hellcat Red Eye Magnum. I just wanted to do a Hellcat wagon. I thought that was kind of neat. And they had no purpose. Like, it wasn't like a drag car. It was like, I was thinking it'd be cool. And then I blew all my money on something stupid. So we have to talk about your metal, or your sheet metal up on the dash.
Yeah, that's just our neck slicer 9000 right now.
This probably has one of the strangest seating positions of a car I've ever been in. Yeah. It's not bad. It's just weird to get used to with the depth perception and everything.
Yeah. I feel like after you drive it for long enough, though, you kind of forget about the seating position.
Yeah, because the steering wheel sits so low. Usually you're kind of a little bit more up here. You're more piloting something than driving it. That's kind of what it feels like. Do you know what happened to your original Plaid? Was it a crash Plaid?
Yeah, it was rear-ended. I actually tracked down the previous owner through the car's GPS because his address was still on the home.
Oh no!
I did a little sneaky research, went on Google, found his address, found the previous owner, found him on Facebook, added him, and then he sent me the crash videos of it.
And you're like, you'll never guess what we're doing.
And then I sent him a video of it all chopped up. Yeah, I actually have a video. So the car got a flat tire, and he pulled over onto the shoulder, but he didn't have a wide enough shoulder. So the car just flipped it. I was in Las Vegas when I won the bid for this. I had like a couple days to pay for it and go get it because they start charging lot fees. And I got back from Vegas, probably landed about 4 p.m. Right when I got back from the airport, I hooked up to my truck and trailer and just shot out to Atlanta.
Oh wow.
And I got there at like 2, 3 in the morning, slept in my truck for a couple hours and picked this up that same morning at like 7 in the morning. It was brutal, but I just went and sent it and went and picked it up. Probably get a little punch right here if you want.
I gotta wait for the 3 honks, you know? Alright, ready?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll let this guy go by. No. Oh, I keep thinking that would be loud and obnoxious. That's the problem. Alright, ready?
Yep.
I hate how good it works.
It works so good.
I felt like I just launched like a 1400 horsepower GTR. You know what I mean? Like an R35 or something.
And like it's on straight, it's just on normal street tires.
Yeah,
it's not anything.
that's such a huge advantage, man.
It didn't slip at all.
No, it just, that was 40 roll-ish.
There's actually more power than that left on the tail. If you put a better tire on it and go make some hits, it will calibrate for it and actually it'll allow more power to come out.
That's absurd.
So just putting a better tire on it, it will get faster.
Suspension, all stock.
Yep, all
pretty much
Tesla.
everything's factory. So I literally was doing the glamour shots for this video and I was like, should I ask him what coilovers he has? No. Should I ask him what, no turbo, no anything. It's just,
no nothing.
No nothing, it just works. And we were talking about just the ability to just go and race, right? Just,
yeah, as long as it's charged, it's ready to go.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about elevation changes and everything else.
There's no tuning, no nothing.
You just get in and you drive.
Also, you don't got to worry about the track surface either because the car has such a good traction control that it will do its best to fully grip up no matter where you are.
Right.
Whether it be in the rain or on a dirt road or on a drag strip, it just self-calibrates.
It's much louder in the driver's seat, ironically.
Yeah,
even though your window does not work on your side.
We definitely need to do some more sealing up. There's a massive hole back here. You can still see the tires. We need to get a window in here. We were going to do some maybe almost like an expanding foam or do as much as we can to actually seal up all of the gaps and make it quiet in here again because when it was a Tesla, it was actually really quiet and nice to drive. So if we can make it kind of like the Tesla was, that'd be pretty cool.
I love the detail that you use the taillights essentially from the Plaid and put it in the Odyssey housing. I think what was really fascinating about this build and seeing it come together was how you never really seem to overthink things. You're like, yeah, it'll probably work, and you just did it. And it just turned out that way. I think a lot of people when they build project cars, including me, overthink things instead of just getting it done sometimes.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like, it should work, so I'm just gonna go at it and see if it does or not. I truly believe it's the best sleeper ever built.
I think so. You know what? I'm gonna say so, because that's one of my favorite things is driving sleepers and weird cars, and this one, nothing could touch this, I don't think. I mean,
there's definitely some cars that could, but
not in the
consistency of it and the silent aspect of it and the fact that it's an 01 Odyssey.
The psychological effect is number one.
The only other thing that would stand a chance is another Tesla with a body swap.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
You want to go again?
Yeah.
We could put it into drag strip mode.
Let's do it.
Out here in Mexico. So we go into drag strip mode. So now hold the brake, full brake, now full gas. Now hold it. So see the display here?
Yeah.
So right when it says ready for launch, you can just let go of the brake and just keep it floored and it will go. There you go.
Ready?
Yep.
What's really interesting is we went over some bumps and it pulled power. it pulled power for just a second.
Oh, did you not let up on the?
No.
Okay.
No.
That was the car.
Yeah.
That's how good it is.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
If we were in a regular car, it would have blown the tires.
No, it would have been like blowing the tires off or pulled timing completely. You know what I mean? But it recalibrated. As soon as we hit smoother road, it was like if you turned your boost all the way up. It was like, yeah, you're gonna do it now.
It's just like Elon Musk once said, like imagine trying to run a printer with a gas engine. Now when you have independent torque vectoring on each corner of the car and each wheel can detect its own.
That's the gnarliest torque vectoring or traction control I've ever felt, for sure.
Yeah, and you don't have to wait for a combustion cycle
to fire or like fix it, or yeah.
You don't have to wait for the peak RPM range. Like it's just the torque and power is already there.
Prior to that clip, there was a car at the stop sign. We let go, and I waited for a little bit for it to get ready for launch. We caught it like that. Like I had to let off early. There's nothing I could do. Plus,
it definitely was a CGI car.
Yeah. It's so funny just being in something so fast and just no one knows. Like I love
unsuspected.
that. I love that.
You know, everybody going by just thinks it's a pile.
No, like here's the spot. Ready? You good? Okay.
And it doesn't get old.
No, every time you get on it, you're like, yeah, it's gonna be fast. But the fact is it doesn't have that old EV like crazy drop off. You know, I feel like
it keeps pulling up.
It just keeps pulling. That's why you start to feel the road starting to get bouncier, and also since you don't have a motor and everything else covering up all the sounds of the rocks and everything else, you're like, oh, we're going fast. Like you know right off the bat. Well, it also makes sense even for like people who are trying to make these like road course cars, because you don't have, when you exit a corner, you're going.
Yeah, plus it still has that extremely low center of gravity.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people are worried that we don't have a roll cage in this thing. It would definitely not be a bad idea.
Yeah,
but if you flip one of these, you are doing something very wrong. You're probably already done regardless.
The lack of smell too. You know, usually you have like an exhaust smell or an E85 smell.
The only thing I'm smelling is the car in front of us.
I know,
Freaking polluters, dude. I'm kidding.
Oh man. Meanwhile, you get back in Rowdyssey.
Yeah.
Kyle's showing you that he is still boosted. Stock.
Bone stock.
I think we all know that EVs are fast, right? We all know that. They're fast and they work. But I think what's impressed me almost more today was that hit back there. That traction control system, the feeling it going, this is not okay right here. And then as soon as it felt it was okay, it was just all of it.
If you want to chill it out, you can actually put it in sport or chill, so the acceleration changes. But like now, look, like you're in chill, so like floor it right now. It won't be crazy.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right.
So you can
I missed it, but whatever.
Yeah, you're good.
It was funny when you said floor it, I was actually bracing my body for the EV hit. And
now you're back in Plaid, so if you floor it, it will go.
Yeah, I think the ferocity of how it comes on, you get that roller coaster slingshot feeling too. Yeah. Another thing too we discussed on the way out to filming was how you can have fun in this car and you're not disturbing literally anybody.
Yeah.
Not to mention, who's gonna call in and be like, there's no way I just saw this minivan do what this just did with no sound, right? The fastest, arguably maybe one of the fastest minivans ever built, this one, is the quietest one.
Yeah, and that's like the thing about the Rowdyssey. I built it to be a sleeper, but it's no longer a sleeper anymore.
No.
It's pulling up on all 4 radials. It has a hood exit.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous now.
Just with necessity.
This thing can still roll up on street tires, be dead silent, and run just as fast as that one does.
Don't you do it, beige minivan. I swear.
Inferior minivan.
I know, how dare you. I like the do not step in the middle of the back.
Oh yeah, that's when it was E-Roy. There's really nothing under that. Some people think there's like a battery under there. It's just
even like 50%.
And it's only like 70% battery right now.
Yeah, yeah.
It's pretty good, but
I do know their consistency is pretty good.
Yeah, we're at 65% battery.
And it's still moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we got in this, it had less than 70%.
Oh, really?
Yep. And they do start to slow down. I think it's either 90 or 80%. Anything lower than that, you do start to see the time decrease. But it's not nothing crazy. You'll go from like a 9.3 9.3 something to like maybe a 9.4.
Oh no!
Even at 30%, it'll still run like high 9s.
That's insane. It's just so funny how you're like, yeah, it will run like a 9.4 instead of a 9.3, when meanwhile a bunch of people are hunting that extra tenth over and over and over and over.
And it's just like I love the project cars and the turbos, fire bang, like I love them, but you just like, and how confident are you right now that this is going to break down on us?
Zero.
Exactly.
Zero.
Like you just know that it's just going to work no
and
matter where you go.
Hypothetically, but even if something did, you know it's not going to be, I got to pull a trans and a clutch and, you know, it's going to be a bearing or something stupid. I mean, you've done so much to the car. It's amazing. It's funny because I'm proud of you for committing to something and getting it done. It's really neat to see. I'm glad I was there from the beginning to hear the idea. But other than that, how can people find you?
You can look us up on YouTube, BoostedBoiz. My Instagram's BoostedBoyKyle. We also have an Instagram, BoostedBoiz. And you can just find us there. Or, you know, go to your local car meets. And if there's an unsuspecting minivan in the corner, that might be me. It's
probably you. But dude, hey, thank you so much for letting me drive. Really appreciate it. Other than that, I'll see you guys later. I have nothing else to say. It was really awesome. It was really fast. Okay, bye.